in the Pie Friends in the Frostnyrrd Saga. So for session 42 will be titled The Falling of Small Stones. We're just going to recap on session 41, which saw the group continue to explore the city, placing orders or agreements with suppliers of things. So Kassar specifically has ordered some leatherworker tools. Cluck and Cretel have agreed the use of a blacksmith anvil and tools. The group then worked about how trying to find passage off the island. They were pointed in the direction of a captain known as Seal Clubber, who resides in a bar in the Warrens, but was stopped by getting there by a bunch of thugs, and essentially they didn't want to fight this bunch of thugs, so they backed out. Kassar, meanwhile, visited the amphitheatre and Webb, one of the Borsk brothers, who are the sort of like the guild of criminals in this part of the world. And a long conversation then passed where Kassar seemed to tell this Webb absolutely everything and got very little in return. Finally, Kassar was warned that the man they'd been sent to kill by one of the other brothers, a man known as Kirkland, is a very dangerous man, and that they would be wise not to cross his path again. Finally, before retiring from the night, the group had a look at the bounty board and picked up a bounty on a target known as Grax. Grax of the Golden Horde, who appears to be some sort of dragonborn that's leading a band of kobold bandits somewhere in the woods. So the group retired for the evening, rested in the inn, and were due to wake up the next morning, and that's where we're going to pick up. So it's 7:15 of a cold morning, and I think you were just about making ready to leave your inn. The Hooded Squirrel is where you decided to stay, which is a small and unassuming inn. So are you going to eat before you leave for your respective jobs for the day? Yeah. I assume everybody else is going to stay with you. Okay. So while you're in the inn, uh, and it's still early morning, the sun's only starting to appear over the eastern walls, a cloaked figure will enter the tavern, and I'd like you all to make a perception check. He's in the tavern with you. Yeah, so you're all in. This building. Yeah. I'm still waiting for one for you, Kasar. No, did you? Have you got it set to like blind roll? Okay, I'll take you at your word with what you're telling me it is. Okay. Then with a 26, you and Clock. So to sort of confirm, you can't see this person's face. They're wearing a long cloak that comes down and covers their face. They've got what appears to be leather armor on that goes all the way down their arms to their wrists where they're wearing gloves. And obviously they've got like trousers and boots on. But the one thing that you do pick up, the both of you, is that they, as they walk, it's odd, but their feet aren't making the same sound. As in, there's a difference between the footsteps. There's like a difference. It's almost as if they're shifting their weight as they walk. Sort of. It's not like it's not as distinct as peg legs. That's quite like footy, isn't it? But it definitely it feels like this. This either yeah, there's either something weird about one of the boots, or there's something weird about the way they're walking, or something weird about the legs. And this person will sort of look around the tavern slash inn, and then go over to the bar and speak in hushed tones to the barmaid. Uh, you don't capture what they're saying. They're being very discreet with what they're saying to the barkeeper. No, they've currently got their back to you. Not yet. Okay. Okay. As you approach, you can see a pouch of coins is exchanged, and this person will then head upstairs in the tavern. And the way this all happens, you think they're trying to avoid your gaze. It's they the way they turn is to always keep between like sort of you and the wall in such a way that you can't see underneath their cloak. So it's the times we live in at the moment. They've asked to rent a room out for the night, and they've paid quite well. So I'm not going to ask any more questions. What can I do for you, sir? She will nod and say, "Sure, I will bring it right over," and then she'll quickly move into a back room that you've not seen much of, but you assume that's where the kitchen is. Okay. Uh, as uh, as the barmaid comes out with what appears to be several bowls of stew, a So they'll put these down in front of each person with a large wooden spoon, and it looks, it's sorry, stew. It should be porridge. It looks very oaty and not at all watered down like you've been used to in some of the less established inns or with Cassar's cooking. Uh, and once you finish your bowls and sort of like start to move them, there'll be a note under your bowl, Critel. So as you turn over in hasty handwriting, it will say, "Come to my room, RJ. Come alone." Yeah, so Critel, this has been placed in such a way that if you were the deceitful type, you could have like hidden and not let anybody else see the note. Okay. Wrong accent. Be before your very eyes, the human cleric transforms into a goblin rogue. Now, Clock, are you keeping up your disguise? Okay. So, unless it becomes difficult, I'm going to assume that you always find ways to refresh it, unless there's like a non-obvious way to do it, and then I will ask you to do something about it. Okay. The, the shield he's never used. He just sort of use it like a shell. So, yeah. Is there anything else you want to do before you leave? Okay. So we'll pick up with Cassad, Duvar, and Ulfar then. Yeah. So as you haunted. Yeah, but like most of the maps kind of connected to that. Half the map is that wood. Uh, the western reach of those woods is where you saw where Kassar had his werewolf experience. You're going more towards where Elbencore is. It's like this side of the woods. Okay, so as you get to the gate, you will see that the gate has already been opened for the morning. So one of the things you would have picked up last night is it is shut with the sun, and there's a small queue, but it doesn't take long before it's moving. It's nowhere near as busy now the festival's finished, and you're quickly taken through. And Duvar, if you stop and hand over your receipt, you can collect your bag your bag of all sorted weaponry. Yeah, pretty much anything that had a blade. You've got natural armor. I don't think you were actually wearing any. Oh, yeah, no. If your armor wouldn't have been taken off you. Is anything with a point on it was taken off you. Yeah. Okay. So you can set off through the gates and regroup on the outside. There's sort of like no real questions about you leaving. Duvar, there is like a sort of a, a comment from the guards as you handed back your equipment, which is something along the lines of like thanks for your donation to the like the City Watch Benevolence Fund. But Kassar and Ulfar, you can slip out without any question, and we will flip back to Kretel and Clock. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Clock, you can easily find your way back to the Hammerworks and to Hammer and Tongs, where Raquel is in the process of opening up and sort of like stoking the forge to get it up to temperature. Uh, Cretel, you hang back at the Hooded Squirrel. Yep. So the innkeeper doesn't say anything or do anything. Uh, you can head upstairs and at the so at the top of the inn there is so there's your two rooms. There's a toilet and there's another room which you gather from where it is. It probably belongs to the innkeeper, and you can see that your room and well the two rooms you had are both open. Uh, if you do check the toilet, there's nobody in there, so it leaves you with the innkeeper's room. Uh, a familiar voice will ask you to enter. and before you, sat on a small chair with her hooded cloak pulled back, is a character you know as Roundabout Jen, who you last saw hobbling on one leg through the snowy forest of Coma. And as you enter, there is a slight sly smile that crosses her face. Uh, she'll say, "I'm doing okay. I have adapted," and at that point she'll sort of like pull each finger of a glove off, and then take the glove off entirely, and you can see underneath what appears to be a mage hand that is acting as her actual hand. Says it's it's not quite perfect, but it gets the job done. Yeah, she will say, "Yes, I did notice." Says, "Well, from when we last departed, you seemed the more level-headed of your group, so I figured it was best I speak to you alone. You let me go and upheld your end of the bargain, so I am repaying that debt today. I'm aware of somebody who's been asking questions about your Aarakocram friend. This is it. The questions specifically about him. Oh, has anybody seen any? Does anybody know where they might find one? And considering he's the likely the only one that's existing on this island, it doesn't take much to put two and two together. That person was in Askby 4 days ago. Where they are now, I don't know. Some sort of noble or lord. Definitely had his heirs. Askby's where you are now, Kretel. Yeah, there's a lot of similar names. Nobody I know, and nobody any of my contacts seem to know. That's probably for the best. Just be careful. This person, I could sense there was something more. Given our collective experience, it's probably not good for anybody. A bit of this, bit of that. Given that you originally set out to capture me, I won't divulge anything that might see us come to blows. Yourself? I'm glad to say that I've been a little bit more cautious in my newfound freedom, as there was nobody sought to look to me. I assume I've also had that to thank for you. I almost did, in a manner of speaking, and she'll shudder at the recollection of the possessed demon, and Ares, of all people, trying to take control of her soul. Says, if you're in the town, I'm sure I'll be able to find you. Just I'll give you what I know about this person. He was an older gentleman. He had blondish, wispy hair. Other than that, he had a sort of say an air about him. Uh, Not that I could tell. At least none that he was showing off that night. So, well, that's best kept between you and your friends. And at that point, Jen will start to well, she'll put her glove back on, and she will lift her hood up and over her face again, and says, hey, "If you wouldn't mind and be darling, and just give me 5 minutes." And with that, she will get up to leave. You stay safe, and with that, she'll disappear. Yep. So as you exit the inn, the barmaid will say nothing, and you can quickly find your way across the city to the Hammerworks, where Cluck has been in the Hammer and Tongs. Cluck, at some point, Raquel would have asked you to help with the forge. So I assume, given that you're trying to you're trying to buy favor this woman, you would have agreed to do. Okay. So after about an hour or so, the forge is hot enough to start working, and Raquel will kindly agree, given your help and your help today and yesterday, to use her workshop free. Mhm. So what are you making? Okay. And what are your strength modifiers? I'm assuming none of you are proficient with smithing tools. Okay. Your strength modifiers, please, gentlemen. Okay. Uh, so together it will take you 3 days effort. 3 days collective effort to make that sword. Let's see. And you have to spend between you 7 gold in materials that you're using. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'd like a straight up strength roll from you both. Okay. Off to a good start. So the good news is that Raquel does have like superior smithing tools, which is helping cover some of the horribleness in your role. Yeah, at the moment, you would estimate that it would be of poor quality uh, once it's finished. So it's averaging at 11.5. Just so you know how this. And as we discussed, it needs to hit at least 14 to be standard. But then it very quickly scales from there. So a couple of high rolls, and you'll be okay. Okay. We will pick up with our friends as they leave town. Okay, Kassar, Duvar, and Ulfar. Kassar, you do feel like this is like a bit like a school trip, and you're the teacher. Yeah. So I don't think that for some reason that's not showing. I'll have to figure out how to. Just so you're aware, this is where Elbencore is on the because I've changed the map since we last went there. So you know it's in the you know that this person's in the Herthen Forest. You don't know. Yeah, yeah. So it's about 30 miles to get to the. Uh, yeah, so it'll take you 8.5 hours to get to the edge of the forest. Yes. Now, oddly, as you're as you're walking through the day, uh, probably around the midday mark, you will see a, uh, a strange omen in that there will be a solar eclipse. So for about 10 or so minutes, the world is plunged into darkness around you, and all the animals seem to be going a bit mad. Nothing with the solar eclipse. It kind of happens on your way down. It's just because I've stepped through the clock that quickly. But it gets to about late afternoon by the time you hit the edge of the forest, and there's been a few travellers on the road. You've overtaken some of the festival traffic that's heading away from the town, and there's been like a few wagons coming northwards on the road as well. Now, if you want, you could stop and speak to people on the way to try and get an idea of if they've seen anything or if they're aware of anything. Okay, just make a perception check, all three of you, and we'll use this to sort of determine how well you've talked to people on the road and how open they've been to you. You should appear in the actors menu. Okay, so Ulfa is the most compelling and sort of covers for some of your social faux pas, Kassar, but together you're able to gather that while they don't seem to have been harassed at all, that one of the sort of the wagons that you pass quite late in the afternoon will mention that there was some slain oxen on the road in the forest, and that he's fairly certain it wasn't animals, as there was a javelin sticking out of it. Uh, he said it's sort of like for him it was about half a day's travel through the forest, but he was traveling quite slow up until that point. So it's you just know it's it within the forest on the road that he's passed this. He would have told you it was after that. Yeah, so he will say that he didn't stop to look at all. He that was his cue to double time. He would tell you that he wasn't looking about for it, but he found it. Okay, so just so I get a sense, are you planning to like continue into the night? Are you gonna camp overnight? Like what? Yeah, so like if you was say to turn back to the city now, you would get there after midnight. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So after 2 more hours of uh you will come across a slain oxen on the road, and it is getting quite dark now. Uh, the sounds of the forest all around you is quite overpowering, and you'll find the scene that the traveller described to you, which is there's a slain oxen uh sort of off to one side of the road with two javelins sticking out of it. Hmm. Okay, make a survival check for me, please. Okay. So as you look around, you can see a few things, some that are more obvious than others. So there are a number of footprints. Now, the ones that don't sort of like so the road's paved. The ones sort of off the side of the road look quite confusing, as if they've been walked over back and forth a few times. So you don't really get a based on a 10, you don't get a good bearing of where those tracks may have come from or led to. However, you notice sort of some disturbed like trees and bushes, and as you look close to those, you can see what look like the wheels of a cart or a wagon that has been taken into the forest to the north. Is this with your yeah? What's the wording? Okay. Uh, yeah. So for so the creatures, unfortunately, so the way I've done it is you didn't score high enough to be able to track the creatures. The wagon you can, and you would estimate like 1 to 2 days. But you're not getting the full benefit of your feat, or sorry, your natural explorer feature, because you essentially failed the check, and I'm throwing you a bone. So the wagon tracks are quite easy to follow from what you can see. There's like it definitely looks like it was burdened, and it's left in places quite deep wheel ruts. Sure. Make a let's say a medicine check. Yeah. So from what you can tell, based on a roll of 11, is that the oxen have been killed by the javelins. That the oxen has been killed by the javelin that's sticking out of it. They are two, and from when you sort of observe them and look at them, they're quite crude and pretty much worthless, and that's why they've been left behind. It's as if they've been like carved out of just wood, so there's no like steel tips or anything. Mhm. Okay. And are you planning to do anything while you're sort of like spending the night in the forest? What is your order of watch, etc., etc.? Okay. Do you found Ulfar? Yes, you would essentially have a chance to uh, you'd harvest more herbs. So whereas like somebody who's not proficient might only get one usable sample, you'll get a D4. Do you have a herbalism kit? Sweet. Well, there was a chance there that he would have said, actually no. Yeah, so you can also, as part of the check to find herbs, you'll be able to add your proficiency bonus to that as well. Okay. A real page turner. Okay. For Ulfa and Kassar, can I get a survival check, please? So, Ulfa, remember, for the purposes of this, you will be able to add your proficiency to it. Yes. If you're already proficient in survival, you can double it. Okay. So you both will find some usable herbs. So Kasa, you find some twilight woodworm, a single harvesting amount. Ulfa, you find 1d4 twilight woodworm. Yeah, so it's purple grey fibrous plant with straight stems and yeah, grows up to 3 feet tall with spiral leaves. Now, you don't know what its application is, but you do know. In fact, I'd say, based on your check, Ulfar, and the fact you've got a herbalism kit, that you'll know that it has uh, it has truth serum properties when eaten raw. Yeah, so in mechanics terms, somebody who eats one of these stems will subconsciously speak the truth about the last lie they spoke, and that effect lasts for 30 seconds. I've updated the journal entry to now show that known fact, and it's also quite a common herb as well. So it's very common in woodland, and it's quite it's not cheap, as in they sell for five gold a harvesting, but it's a common tier herb. Okay. Can you all your perception checks for me, please? Perfect. Cluck and Cretel. I'm not going to switch back to the Aspercubi map, but after a hard day's labour in the blacksmith, you have sort of a couple of hours to yourself if you'd want to do anything in the town. Okay, so you've secured your rooms for at least another night, I believe. Uh, yeah, so good news is you don't have to share tonight. The blacksmith will happily assist you with the crafting of the longsword. They will say, I'm just going to have a quick look at what it does to the craft cost. Uh, two secs. I think my math's off. So I'm getting two different. There we go. So she will. I'll fix that another time. She will gladly uh, offer to help. She will ask in return that she will be paid for half the value of the final item. She says that well she thinks she's a good smith, that she's not a master smith, and with two apprentices, uh, she doesn't think there's any danger of us accidentally making an artifact. Yeah, she would tell you that if we make a standard weapon, it's around 300 gold. Mm. Okay. Yeah. So he was a older gentleman with blondish hair who that's all she kind of got a read of. No insignia or anything like that. So make a history check, Clock. Okay. You can recall only a few items about things. So first of all, the guy's name was Vigo, and the only you remember him to be quite short, and he was missing a quite a prominent tooth when he smiled. Okay. Okay. We'll switch back to the other group. So you're glad to know that you will all benefit from a long rest, and with your checks, that you don't notice anything odd or unusual during the night other than the sounds of the forest. Okay. Now the weather has taken a much more severe turn for the worst. So you'll awaken to a temperature of -21 degrees Celsius. Uh, Completely overcast with some snow flurries. What about you, Ulfar? You'll be more than cold. You'll be dead. Yeah. So it is now in the stages of extreme cold. A Constitution saving throw from you, Ulfar. So whatever fire you built had sort of died down through a combination of lack of attention and and wait, who was on watch last? No, uh, I will let yeah, Kasar was awake enough to keep the fire going, and but from every hour that you're exposed, there will be a Constitution test, unless you have resistance or immunity to cold. Or thick coats, gloves, and the like. This is what happens when the man from the desert comes and spends time in the real world. Yeah, okay. So, at night time with a bedroll and a fire, you're fine. During the day, with biting winds, not so much. Now, you can, if you so desire, because I don't think your continual flame maul gives off heat, does it? It's like it's animated thing. You can like light a torch and carry a torch with you for the hours that you're traveling, which will stop you freezing to death and will give you advantage on your saves. Okay, so if just quickly pick up with Cluck and Kassar, so you'll notice as you wake up and you're warm in, and you head downstairs and have breakfast, and you look out, there's light dusting of snow on the street outside, and you're thankful that you're in a nice warm inn. Hmm? So Cluck and Kratel. Uh, so yeah, nice dusting of snow outside, and you're thankful for your nice, warm, and cozy inn. Do you wish to take out the room for another night? Okay. Pretty sure they were. Is it 2 gold and something? I can't remember. I should write this down. Do. 2 seconds. A gold room. Okay, and presuming that you head over to the forge and get it started for the day, and then we'll take your roll. So your strength checks, if you would. Raquel is a plus. That is a very good question. Yes, and so you'll get a D6 of proficiency for the first night, and then you'll get a D8 for the second day because you're kind of under the tutelage of a better smith who's kind of say like, yeah, don't hit it like that, don't do this. For God's sake, look, put that down. Your average has raised to a 12.6. Yeah, so okay. Uh, you both seem to have difficulty grasping basic smithing concepts, and Raquel, you do hear it one under her breath at one point suggest that you both will much likely better at using a blade than making one with your sort of cack-handed nature. Okay, so Kasa, Ulfa, and Duvar. Hmm. Okay, survival check from you, please. Perfect. So you have no trouble. Now you know what you're looking for. You have no trouble sort of keeping this trail and following it for 6 hours before you you start to find some. Yeah. So bear with. So ahead of you, so it runs parallel to a stream uh for the last couple of hours. And then you will start to see a clearing that breaks in front of you. And uh, I'd like you all to now make a perception check. Mm-hmm. Duva, I was going to say you get advantage, but you don't need. So ahead of you, uh, Kasa, Duvar, and so all of you can see this clearing, and Ulfa, you can just make out a couple of tents. Uh, Kasa, you can see figures moving about, and one of them that appears to be a kobold appears to be digging through a uh, a wagon of sorts. Uh, Duvar, you see several kobolds. In fact, you see 5 kobolds. Uh, you see a couple of cages with people inside. And in fact, based on your perception check, you not only see the wagon, but you're quite certain that the wagon belongs to a merchant that you know as Gamin. And in the cages in the camp, you can see that one of those contains Gamin, the other contains a woman known as Alora. So yeah, you can. I assume you share that freely. Do you? he sees 5 kobolds and 2 uh, what he would describe as dragony looking people. Okay. So based on that's what you can see. Will you be my friend? They're not they're not usable in that they would need repairing. So pretty much anything you pick up off a like a body, like it's just like random shit, it's poor quality. So do uh, I was just gonna say, do that if Kasar talks this plan about looking for a way to find and break them out. Based on your perception roll, you would be able to tell him that the cages don't have any doors or locks. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see a kobold picking through the wagon, which is quite clearly Gammon's on the western side of the camp. There's only one there.
Weird in that, like, I feel like I can see less than I would be able to see from where I am.
What?
Well, like, tents are not a like completely block square hide of vision. I'd be able to see most things past these tents.
No.
Okay.
You
This
can
is
like
the way things are now.
so the tents are tall enough that you can't see over them, and they're not open, so it's not that you can see through them.
Okay. Right. Okay then.
And that line of sight will change as you move.
Okay.
Just for anybody who's been watching up until now, apparently none of the Discord audio has come through, so hopefully I've fixed it.
Test.
Yeah, it looks like it's recording. For some reason, it's put it into a new audio stream called Desktop Audio 2, which is very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, that has fixed it.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can bring about a storm, and I can just start smashing lightning down. Before I do, Duvar, whereabouts are these cages in terms of in the encampment?
It looks like the far side of the camp. I can
The
see
far
that
side.
from where I'm stood.
Okay. Okay.
Don't hit them.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, big metal cages.
fried gammon.
It might act as a Faraday cage if he's not touching it.
Is there anything that might help with our fire that we can see, by any chance?
No, not even based on
So
your 26.
a-
There's no conveniently like placed red explosive barrels next to any of the tents or anything like that. No.
There's always red explosive barrels, isn't there?
Okay.
I'll say to Allfire, if you can give me 1 minute, I can probably make it round to the other side before you kick this off.
Okay. We can do lots of lightning. Do you want the first lightning bolt to hit that kobold on the cart?
I'm not sure Gammon would like you hitting his cart.
If I'm going to call a lightning storm, the cart survival is iffy at best. It's not like it's a subtle tool.
Gammon will prefer being alive, I'm sure. Save the cart if you can,
Okay.
but if you can center the storm over the camp, it will not only
Well, yeah, I can hit different
mask
points
my
after,
activities, but
I
it
can
will
hit different points
also
after the first strike, but
yes.
okay.
And with that, I'll sort of dip back around. So I'm going to head up this way, David.
Mhm.
So sort of going that way.
Okay.
Do you want me to make a stealth roll?
Yes, please. Ulfa and Duvar, how long are you intending to wait until? So Kassar sort of disappears.
Yeah, into the woods. I would say we'll probably give him, like he said, give me a minute. I would say we give him approximating 5 or 10.
15?
Yeah, 15 minutes. To give him plenty of time so he doesn't have to rush, should we kick things up. Like, barring we don't hear some sort of, or see some sort of calamity occur to him.
I should have got into place after about 30 seconds, roughly.
Really?
Yeah, so Kassar, there is like for you, a very long pause. Like minutes pass.
Well, we don't know that.
To,
Yeah.
to the point where I'm poking my head out, like looking up at the clouds, sort of going,
Got a piece of grass in between your feet, your leg, in between your
"What has
teeth.
happened?"
Yeah.
Okay. And then a lightning storm will move in overhead. The sky will darken, and a lightning bolt will hit the front end of the big tent that's nearest to us.
Can you put? So, what's the range of your storm?
My storm, I can cast it anyway where 120 feet from me, and then it's a 60-foot. Oh, actually, that's a good point. Given that, it's a 60-foot. What do you call it?
Radius.
Cylinder. Yeah.
60-foot cylinder.
Well,
Let me just 60-foot radius is 60-foot radius.
Okay, so put down a 60-foot radius circle template where you want it to like center.
How do I do that?
So it's the one that looks like a set square.
Yeah.
And then click on the cylinder or the circle.
Yeah.
And then click on the starter point and drag it out to 60 feet.
toys. Where does he get those wonderful toys?
Oh God, I can't see the number. I need to zoom in. That is. You're gonna have to remove that.
But that encompasses the whole.
What's that?
Yeah, well, yeah. So that encompasses the camp. So that's at 45 feet. So if I can pull it out more, can I?
There you go.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah. So, and then, the first lightning bolt will hit the most distant side of the biggest tent closest to us. So I'm effectively hitting that tent. So if there's anyone within 5 feet of that tent, let me just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Okay. And that's concentration.
Yes, it is 10 minutes.
Which tent?
It's
hold down X and click.
hold on.
That tent.
Yeah, they're literally there.
Okay. So the snowstorm takes a turn for the worse, and this thundercloud rolls in and starts to whip up the snow before a bolt of lightning will strike the tent. None of the kobolds are in range of the tent, so none are requested to take a save. But the tent will the tent catch fire, or does it explode?
Seeing as you said snowstorm, that was already there, that gives me an extra d10 as I'm casting it, so that's 4d10 damage is what it would do.
Okay, then that tent, it's not a snowstorm, it's got flurries though, so like it is, it's.
It's whether or not I get to count it as taking over the current weather.
What is it? If your outdoors is stormy conditions, it's not stormy.
Okay. Then it's 3d10 rather than 4d10.
Okay.
That's
yeah. So that tent gets struck by lightning, and it will catch fire, and partially like bits of it are just thrown.
Yeah, it's fun, you know.
Can I just want to see if I can change the fill of that? There we go. It's a bit easy. A bit easier on.
Stop the bugs.
Okay. At which point I would like everybody to now roll initiative.
Okey-dokey.
Do you remember how to do that?
Find it in my.
Toggle combat state.
What?
Where is it? Thing.
Yeah, so you have to toggle combat.
What?
Clicking it doesn't do anything for me.
It does. It puts you into combat.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
appear
should be
on the second tab now should show you.
I don't know how to do it then.
Yeah. How?
click on your character, right click, and
Yeah.
then bottom right corner, the one that looks like a sword and shield.
Okay.
There you go. Just waiting for Ulfar.
Sorry.
And then it should just be a case of on the fist icon, top right corner, you should be able to click on your dice to roll your initiative.
Fucking terrible.
Ulfar.
I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah.
So
Okay.
where the chat icon is, top right, click on the
Yeah.
fist to look at the combat encounter.
Yeah.
Second icon.
Then you've got your dice next to you on it.
Okay.
So, first things first, the kobold that is acting on or going through the wagon will immediately put down stuff, and it will run into this tent, and it will fetch a bucket of water and bring it over and start trying to douse out the flames on the tent. Duvar, make a stealth check.
Yes, right. I think. Stealth.
In fact, Ulfar, make a stealth check as well.
Okay.
This is the first combat we've done since we've moved to Foundry.
Yeah, I know, it's
Other than our dream sequence of death.
Do you want me to roll my disadvantage? The first one's a 3. Do you need? I can roll another one. There you go.
just to see what you...
That's what you
Yeah.
could have had.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. His passive perception is going to be enough to see that, I'm sure.
See a 3. You kind of hope so.
I shout into the sky and cause a lightning storm. It wasn't a subtle move as things go.
Yeah, so that's enough that... yeah, so as he's starting to put that flames out, he will sort of see you and then point and shout. And then we'll bring us on to Kassan.
So I am going to sneak up to 10. So sneaking up to about there, and take a hide as my bonus action, and I'm going to just take a look at Alora's cage for any weaknesses, and if she sees me, I'll raise a finger to my lips, in sort of a be quiet gesture.
Make a stealth check.
Oh, that was on that one for so long. It gave me a heart attack.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody's attention seems to be drawn to the south.
Yep.
Alora doesn't see you. Neither does the gold dragonborn you can see in front of you.
Yep. I just want to spend my action investigating the cage.
Okay.
Just see, like, does it have a bottom to it? Is there any other way that I can see that they could get out or anything?
It doesn't
like that?
have a bottom to it, but make a investigation check. You believe the only way out of this cage is to lift it, and it appears to be made out of like iron bars.
I'm boss.
Okay. So
It looks heavy. It looks as if they rely on the occupants being unable to lift themselves out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
You and Gammon can do it, maybe.
Together,
Mm.
maybe.
Okay. Anything else for you?
That is everything, because I don't believe I have anything else on my turn. The investigation counted as my action, right?
Well, depends
Would
what
you let me have that?
What would you want to do? We'll play it like
that. No, I can't move as part of a ready action, so that's fine. I don't think.
Okay. So the kobold. I've moved them in the wrong order. It's fine. So, he would be back on the.
He's given up dousing the fire.
He would have doused the. It's just the
Okay.
order on their initiative.
Okay.
Then, how far can they move? 20 feet. Yeah.
They've only got little legs.
Yeah, no, I'm just aware of how many 20 feet are in 60 feet to get to us, so I can hit them with lightning a bunch.
So he will dash that way. So he's clutched his shield and his spear, and he's charging towards the invader, which is very unkobo-like behavior.
Yeah.
The invader, they don't see me.
Okay, the invader. The guy off the wagon will pick up his kit and charge forward as well. And that brings us around to Duvar. Ulfar, sorry.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Okay. I am going to strike the one on my side with lightning.
Okay.
Let me just check something. Where is it? I'll just check his own on my character sheet. Okay. So I need a Dex saving throw, I think, from him.
A dex save.
I think it is.
He rolls a 7.
So he fails. So he takes 3d10 lightning damage. So he takes 16 lightning damage, and he's pushed 10 feet away from me because I can do that. Yeah, away from me.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what's. Just remember how this works. When you cast a spell, choose one each creature within 5 feet. Lightning damage for 0 last spike. On each return to spirit, you can use your action. Okay, so that's my action. Then as a no, that's it for me.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
I'm just checking because I'm sure I had a nice bit of like storm-based music that I should be playing. Why not? That one. Next is him. He will also dash. all the while these are like charging out, shouting, "Invaders! Invaders! Repel the invaders!" And that brings us to your turn, Duvar.
Okay. Okay, so I will move up to. Presumably, this is how you do it. This
So
guy here.
you control. Click on your character and then hold down Control and drag yourself out. And click where you want to sort of path it through, and then press space to move along that path is the easiest way to do it.
Okay, so that's where I'll move.
Mhm.
And I will use Flurry of Blows on him.
Okay.
So I will attack. So the bonus action. So first I'll use I'll attack as normal.
Okay.
Which is this button, I think. Maybe.
Okay. The first one you missed.
Great. I'll attack again.
That one he deflects away with his shield.
I already hate this guy. And I'll use Flurry of Blows, which is 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay. That one you miss. And that one you miss. So he's quite small. So every time you try and bring down, he's sort of like halfling size to you. So every time you try and bring down your staff, he just sort of like ducks out of the way, dodges and rolls, and he seems to be quite a little nimble fellow.
Just gonna make sure this thing's not broken. Hold on. Okay, it's not as broken as I thought it might be.
The miss.
Anything else for you, Duvar?
Let me see. So I've still got 20 movement, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you use Flurry of Blows, you gain a benefit of disengage action. You can walking speed increases by 10 feet, so until the end of the turn. So if I disengage now and move back to where I was, is that acceptable?
Is that part of Flurry of Blows? Sorry.
That is a drunken technique.
Okay. Yeah, then you can certainly disengage and walk back to wherever you were. Safely in the knowledge that you're no longer hidden from sight.
Yes.
So
Yes.
run out, try and whack this kobold with your staff like Tom. I don't know what the woman from Tom and Jerry's called, but she's trying to hit Jerry with her broom.
With the rolling pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas! Thomas!
So
Okay.
basically, I jump out, swing at him, completely miss, then dive back into a bush.
Yeah. Okay. Maelstrom, it is your turn.
Should we do the big reveal then?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I will flip the table up and pick it up as a shield.
Okay. So that'll be 5 feet of movement. Based on the movement of all the minions, you're fairly certain this attack is coming from the south. And based on the fact that lightning started to hit the camp, it doesn't feel like it's Empire.
I'll move him to there.
Okay. So yeah, for the first time, Ulfar, you'll see a humanoid with a dragon head. So not a dragonborn. He's got a literal dragon head on his otherwise human body. Step forward out of the camp, carrying a large spear and holding up a table as a shield.
Okay.
Grax.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you
Grax
do?
is away right now.
Grax does have a lot of abilities, so
I will. Can I use? Let's see.
So the only person you can see is Ulfar, who's about 80 feet away from you.
Yeah.
You did see a strange turtle sort of spring out of a bush, try and whack one of your minions, and then disappear again.
4 freaking rolls, and I don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
That was mad unlucky.
Yeah.
So I'll move to there.
Yep, you can now see the turtle again.
So, Mike, they're all looking at us now, like we've done what you asked.
So I think, like, based on what Grax has, one of the things that he does when people are at range, apart from his lightning law, is his acid arrow ability.
Yeah, I was looking at that. But what's the actual range on that?
That is 80 feet.
Okay, seeing I can see a turtle quite clearly in the bush, I will, I'll use a acid arrow on.
Okay. Roll the attack. So it should just work the same as the attack rolls. If you just click on the dice icon, there we go. Okay, so the good news is, Duvar, it misses. The bad news is you still take damage from.
Does deflect missiles do anything for me here?
It is an arrow of magic nature that hits the ground next to you and explodes. So no.
Okay.
So you take 6 points of acid damage.
Really?
And that is Grax's turn.
You've taken that off for me, haven't you?
I've applied it in game. I'm not going to apply it to your D&D Beyond.
Okay.
Okay, so he will charge forward. And that brings us to you, Kassar, who are currently alone in the camp.
Alright, I'm gonna move around to Ganvix's cage.
Ganvix?
Not Ganvix!
He's dead.
Gamin's cage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna whisper to him, I was like, "Hey, it's me, Kazar. I don't know what you're doing here, but do you reckon you give me a hand getting this cage up?"
Okay. You believe he will help you, so you can make a strength check with advantage to try and lift the cage.
Don't roll like I'm rolling.
What's it? Is it control or shift for that?
I believe it's shift.
Oh. Nope.
That's a strength save as well.
Why is that? Alright.
Would that be the same result, Mike, for you then?
No.
No, oh, okay.
Oh, I did it with disadvantage, but the next one was a 20.
Okay. With a 20, you will lift the cage enough that Gamin can scamper out.
Okay,
Yeah,
as he scampers out, I'm gonna hand him one of my daggers and the shield that I was given.
Okay. I'll look at them as like, okay, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting out of here, Gavin. But if you can help us fight, that'll be more than helpful. Now, let's try and catch these fuckers by surprise. They don't know you're out yet.
Will Grex hear the cage? I take it we'll hear the commotion of lifting a cage.
You're in the middle
During
of
a
a
lightning storm.
Like-
Yeah, I was hoping the lightning is covering me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say based on the stealth checks and everything else so far that there's no reason for you to suspect there's anything else happening.
All right.
I will have Gamin roll in to the initiative.
And as my bonus action for myself, I'm gonna cast Slayer's Prey onto Grax.
Okay.
Don't kill him.
Oh yeah, he's worth more alive. Oh, so that.
So you're giving Gamin a shield of +1, yeah? And
Yeah, whatever Cluck gave me. And
No.
one of my dragon daggers.
one of your dragon daggers.
Wait, he's been carrying a shield of +1 this entire time and not been using it.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
realise that would have made my AC 20, right?
I've used it a couple of times.
Have you met Clock?
Has it got a sparkly bit on it?
He just wears it on his back and forgets it's there. What are your daggers? In fact, I can take it off your.
It's Black Dragon Claw dagger.
Yeah, I just need to drag one onto Gamin. There we go. To give him the attack.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So I think that will end my turn as my action was lifting the cage.
Okay.
One kobold goes.
So I'm just trying to.
See,
make sure.
so far going to plan.
Yeah, not too bad. Like, I mean, yeah, Duval was unfortunate with his wild swings, but other than that,
Duva disagrees at the moment.
Well, yeah.
let's just hope that
Do
doesn't
better
happen.
than that, Duva.
Yeah.
So the one that got struck by lightning is going to advance again.
Yeah.
I need to turn to the stream so that I can actually watch what's happening. Can you move the map up on stream so that I can see Spulfar and Duvar?
Yeah, so that's as far as he gets. Now
you.
Gamin will act. Did you ask Gamin to do anything in particular?
All I asked him to do was that if essentially stay quiet because they don't know we're here yet. So get the surprise jump on whoever he's going to go after.
Okay. How much movement?
But I didn't tell him to target anyone in particular. Just said, help out. Be a good lad, dwarf.
So Gamin's going to move, and he's going to attempt to be stealthy.
That's pretty half decent stealth. Go Gammon.
Yeah. So he's still undetected to you, Grax. Kobold number 2 is going to run and charge at Duva. And he is going to attack you with his spear twice.
Oh.
Rolling a 15 and a 13 to hit.
No, armor class is 17.
Okay, so they bounce harmlessly off your shell.
Are they rolling a disadvantage because it's daytime?
Yes.
See, daytime.
We learned something from our little dead friend.
Ulfar, it is your turn.
Oh, don't even really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can just see a horde of what essentially look like dragon rats running at you, followed by two very large, swole-looking gentlemen have just stepped out of the camp as well.
Yeah.
It's as many as you can.
I am going to
Cry.
No, not that. I am going to aim the next lightning bolt I have here as my action. So I need dex saving throws of both of them.
Dex.
Yeah.
13.
Both fails. I'm going to channel divinity to roll max damage, so they both take 30 points of lightning damage and are pushed 10 feet away from me.
Can you control the direction they're both pushed in, even if you don't target them?
Just away from me. It's pushed 10 feet away from me, so I don't decide. It's just 10 feet back from where I am. That's what it says, anyway. When you're dealing lightning damage on a large or smaller creature, you can also push it 10 feet away from you.
That feels broken. Not broken. It just feels like if a lightning bolt hits in the middle.
It could be random.
On air ruling, they're going to fly away from the strike point because you're not aiming at a particular one.
Yeah. But that's not what it says. So
that's fine. I've altered the rules.
Unacceptable.
So yeah, they will. If you hit it, it will get knocked away from you. If you hit around it, they will be knocked away from the impact point because that makes logical sense.
That's fine.
I have altered the deal. Pray tell.
Right. Yes. I think I have any bonus actions that I can. I mean, I could move potentially.
Yeah, they both look bloodied as well by that.
I should bloody well hope so. They're bloody kobolds. They should be dead. Okay. David, ruling on this, can I do a bonus action spell while using my main action to do my lightning that round or not? Because if I was casting a separate spell, I wouldn't be able to. But...
No, you can only if with spells, you'd have to do a cantrip as your sort of action to do a bonus to be able to do a bonus action spell.
That's what I figured. The only reason I asked is because obviously this is weird. I'm not exactly casting each turn. I'm just sort of pointing the lightning, but that's fine. Then I think I will come to here. And that will be the end of my turn.
Dragon Shield number 5. It's going to make a beeline for you, but not be able to do anything this time.
Okay.
Number.
Rasek, do the ones who just took 30 points of damage look blooded?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be able
Okay.
to see on the stream.
Yes, I can, actually. If I look closely. I say, thank God.
Oh, yeah, exactly. If the kobolds aren't bloodied at 30 damage each, then we've got real issues.
That
Super duper kobolds.
brings us to your turn, Duvar, and you're starting to get swarmed by kobolds.
Yeah.
Think you might want to do something about that.
You'd think I'd want to, wouldn't you?
I'm just going to take 10 seconds while you decide to shut the door and turn the lights on.
This is David's version of the getting a beer DM break.
I was just gonna smack the guy in front of me.
That's what you would do, that's what you would do, mate. Do it.
Well,
Just do better than last time.
yeah, exactly.
I am back.
About the only thing I can do. Well, I could run away, but there we go. Right, I'll just smack the guy in front of me.
Okay. Okay. The first attack he deflects with his shield.
Yay! Then I'll smack him again.
Oh no.
Harder this time. Harder this time. Thank you.
Yep. This
That
time
was definitely
you
harder.
sweep his leg. So as he holds his shield up to block you again, you get underneath him and you cause him quite the little head noggin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's still bloodied?
Nope.
No.
He, up to that point, hadn't been touched.
Oh,
despite,
that guy.
despite your best
Sorry.
efforts.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realise. I thought the bloody guy was attacking. Apologies.
No, the bloody guy went full far.
Yeah. Which is fair. I was on the blooded him.
You've still got an arm up in the air channeling a storm.
Yeah.
I will plug in flurry of blows again.
Okay. And you managed to hit him again.
Yeah. Whack, whack, whack.
And one more time for good luck.
And that gets through. And he's now blooded.
James.
Okay.
Is blooded half health?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck. Fuck.
Yes, that's what I was
Okay.
Duvar promptly runs away.
Devar can disengage, yeah.
Mm.
So where can he go to? The problem is he doesn't want to leave off on his own. Okay, he'll remain there. Why not?
You got into the swing of it. You're whacking guys now. You got this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Okay.
End of turn, sir.
Maelstrom.
What was the button on this one to show the distance?
Click yourself and then control click as you move yourself. So control and then start dragging. And then once you're
Use
happy
your
with
control.
the movement, press space. If you want to see how far something is, it's the ruler icon, person, and then ruler.
All right, how tall is that ledge in front of me?
10 feet. It would be double distance to climb up it at its sort of like its normal point. So that square that's covers the ridge counts as 10 feet of movement.
So if I dash, I should be fine to go where I'm aiming.
If it's 55 feet or less, yes. Okay.
Time, Kassar! Literally any time!
And that obviously uses my action. I've got no bonus actions I can.
Okay, great.
I mean, you're telling me off, but I feel like I've done my end of this.
If Grax turns around,
Make a let's say, because you essentially he's got no reason to suspect anything other than what's going on, but I will let him make a wisdom check to see if he can recognize that they're being lured off.
He can beat myself to 25. Good luck to him.
He doesn't need to beat yourself. He just needs to see that the cage is empty. Yeah, I would say with a 15, Grax, you feel like something's off, and as you turn round, you can quite clearly see that one of the cages is now empty.
okay, I will rush back over to the cage to investigate.
Okay. When you get over there, I'd like you to make a perception check. Yeah, so you don't see any signs of the prisoner. You also don't see Kassar.
I am a pile of leaves.
I am the leaves, and the leaves are me.
So what else do you want to do?
Beat Alora.
Yeah, you use your one opportunity.
This is your chance.
It's a ruse.
I will. Oh, that's a. Can you use a reaction as a action, or does it have to be just so something happens?
A reaction's normally the result of something happening.
Okay. In that case, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
that is it.
Okay.
I suppose I've got. Maelstrom's too far away, isn't he? He's miles away.
Why do you want to shout to him?
Yeah, I was going to shout to him. Yeah.
What would you shout?
Like Maelstrom, the prisoners have escaped. One of the prisoners has escaped.
Okay. Maelstrom, make a perception check. This is in Draconic as well, so you just hear like a dragon roar. Yeah, that the Draconic does carry quite well on the wind, and Maelstrom, you will hear Grax shouting about the prisoners.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't do anything for a long time.
No.
Literally, couldn't be further away from empty.
Kobold number 4 will run at you with his spear, Ulfar. Really annoyed that you've hit him with lightning.
I can't see why he would be. Seems silly.
Rolling a 21 and a 12 to hit, and they are not using the weapons versatile.
Okay, so 12 won't hit, 21 will. But as a result, I'm going to my Wrath of the Storm for the first time ever in this campaign. Yeah, I want a dex saving throw off of him.
He rolls a 19.
So he takes half this damage, and he's pushed 10 feet away from me. So he takes 4 damage and is pushed away from me. As lightning streams out of my core and hits him and knocks him away from me.
Okay. He will use the rest of his movement to re-engage.
Okay.
I would also like a con saving throw from you.
Yeah.
So DC 10.
There we go. So there we go,
You
pass.
pass. Kassar, it is your turn. You've seen Grax come back. So, yeah, you saw him sort of look over his shoulder and come storming back and sort of like start smashing the cage that Gammon was in as he screams out in Draconic. And you're sort of like hidden at his feet going tee hee hee hee.
Okay. So as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself. Which should so my movement won't provoke any opportunity attacks, and I gain 30 feet of movement. So I now have 55 feet to play with. So yeah, I'm literally going to like move away, I think, to about here. So I'm gonna essentially, he's gonna see me pop out and leave,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna turn around and pop a shot back at him, and I'm gonna give myself advantage with the Zephyr Strike as well. It allows me to give advantage to one attack during spell duration.
but you don't get the 30 feet until after your attack.
Whether you hit or miss your walking speed. Okay, all right. So sorry. In that case,
you kind of have to like shoot and then leg.
In which case, I'll be there by the time this happens. So I'll shoot him, and I'm going to use the sharpshooter as an advantage.
As a reaction, David, can I use cast a shield?
You will be able to cast shield as a reaction. So as you strike him, a wall of energy will come up in front of him and deflect your arrow away.
Okay. With that, I'm going to retreat slightly deeper into the forest, and then I should just get a second shot, but normal this time and without advantage, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's only one weapon attack roll on my turn. It's not the full attack.
So +5
For 24.
Even with shield, that will exceed his AC.
Okay, so he takes 10 plus 4 damage, so he takes 14 in total.
Okay, and is this with your like normal arrows, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Grex, you take
14.
no.
resistance.
You reduce the attack by 3, so you take 11.
Okay.
And he sort of like
And-
snaps this arrow out of his chainmail.
Yes, and that is the end of my turn.
Where are we next? So kobold number. Which one's kobold number? That one. We're running to engage you, do.
Okay.
And he's going to attack you twice with his spear.
Oh, actually, sorry, I've forgotten something. I think.
End of
Very
turn.
quickly. Oh no, don't worry. It
Yeah?
didn't trigger. Yep.
So he rolls a 19 to hit and a 5.
First one hits, of course, and the second one doesn't.
Okay, so you take 4 points of piercing damage. It's Gamin's turn. What does Gamin do? Gamin, first of all, I'm going to give him line of has vision. What does he see? Right, he sees Kassar. He sees the kobold swarming him. Gamin's going to run to where he thinks he can help the most and start engaging some kobolds. And he will charge with his dagger and his shield towards everyone.
He can run for a dwarf.
Yeah, he dashed, so that's 50 feet. Kobold number 2 is going to attack Ulfar with his spear. Rolling an 11 and a 6.
Which cannot do anything.
Brings us around to your turn, Ulfar.
The worst thing that can happen when you're in charge of a heist is, first, getting arrested for assaulting the ex-inspector.
Then, with the only person I can see that's still inside my lightning, I am going to drop a lightning bolt on Maelstrom.
Okay.
And it's, yeah, the dex saving throw. Which he fails. So I am going to use my last channel divinity to make it max damage. So it's 30 points of lightning damage, and he's pushed 10 feet away from me.
Sorry, 30.
30 points, yeah.
Okay.
Then
If only you had Thunderwave.
I'm,
Yeah, I think you do.
He does.
no, I do have Thunderwave.
I was gonna say I was thinking back to old
Yep.
times.
Isn't Gammon in the way?
No, yeah, and you as well.
So are you.
And you, Duval.
That's what Ulfar is going to say. Is he, after he's hit with lightning, he's going to call out to Gammon, who just run out of nowhere, and Duvar, and say, "Back away from me! I have an idea."
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Is that the end of your turn, Ulfar?
Yeah, that is me done.
Right, so Kobold 5 will continue to attack you. Kobold 3 will attack you, Duval. So this is at you, Ulfar, so an 11 and a 15.
We'll miss both.
And at Duval, a 7 and a 6.
No, both miss.
It brings us around to you, Duval.
Ooh,
You're sort of like fending off spear thrusts from all sides now,
yes.
and you've just seen this mean son of a dragon just get blasted with lightning and get back up.
Okay, so
I've told you to get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, yeah, but I might be able to do some damage before that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Who do we hit? So I will hit this guy to my left, my right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I will smack him twice, or smack him at least once. We'll try.
Okay, so first one's deflected by his shield. Second one gets under his guard.
There, 5 points. I will use flurry of blows again. For two unarmed strikes.
First one's a miss. Second one is a hit.
Okay, and then I will use the drunken technique to gain the benefit of the disengage action and increase my walking speed by 10 feet.
Okay.
So that will lead me to I don't know how far flurry of the lightning thing is, so that will lead me to there.
You should be okay there.
Should being the operative word.
Okay, Maelstrom. You have seen the prisoner come into focus with a shield and a dagger, and you're seeing your minions starting to like swarm these interlopers, but not really having much luck from what you can see. There's a lot of chinking on armor from both sides.
Now, I'm debating whether or not, like, would he see a bit of rage after getting struck by the lightning, and in which case I wouldn't run back to help Grax, and I would just go full on, like, try and maim the person in front of.
Oh yeah, he's got red dragon blood in him, so he is as sort of like as nasty as vengeful as a red dragon, as hot-headed as a red dragon.
In that case, I'm going to move forward slightly and over.
And what's
and that? I'm going to move there, and I'm going to breathe fire forward.
Okay.
Get all your guys as well. Do I have to do a saving throw or something?
Yes. Along with 3 kobolds.
Dexterity, it looks like.
Yeah, if you click on yourself and then click the save DC 13 Dex in chat. Okay, so 1 kobold pass.
I do not pass.
That's gonna sting.
I mean, that could have stung a lot more than it did.
Yeah, so
26 damage, is that?
Yeah, all fire takes 20. 2 of the kobolds are incinerated, and 1 of them is barely alive.
Go on, lad. It's helping us out.
I won't
Invite
call
it to the team.
I'm blooded. Just a little.
And I will.
You're
what
not
was that to get up?
Yeah, I am.
So not trying to think
not.
what movement I've got left.
Almost. As much as makes no difference.
You technically don't show any signs of damage. You're just a bit blackened.
Yeah, I just walked
I
through a
think
wall of
that's as
fire.
far as I can go.
Okay.
Well, the kobold that was in front of you probably shielded half your body.
Yeah. Okay. Maelstrom.
Okay. Grax.
And I will yell out that to Grax that the prisoner's over here.
Okay, Ulfar, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
DC 13.
That he can do.
That's fine.
Yeah, well, but I can't see anyone inside my storm anymore. So, well, actually, I think technically, Maelstrom's still within range of being hit, but that's it.
Okay, Grax.
How far can I dash?
If you dash, you can move 60 feet.
Okay.
With your weapon, you only need to be within 10 feet to use it. You've also got spells as well. So, 1, 2, 3 spells are of sufficient range, like 90 feet.
Yeah, I will move 60 feet. Will I see Duvar behind the tree?
Yes.
Or I will. Okay.
Yeah. There's been no attempts at stealth, and given the thick of the combat, it would have very little effect.
Also, at which point do I roll the recharge on the attack, by the way?
It shouldn't have a recharge ability anymore. It should be 1 use only when I changed it.
That didn't stick.
Okay, I will change it.
So he can't do that again. Good to know.
Damn it.
See, next round, you see him breathe in. Oh.
Yeah, he takes a deep breath.
So I will.
Yeah, no, given the amount of damage it did, it didn't feel like a fair thing.
Fair for us to come up against.
Reach with the weapon, was it 10 feet?
So
Okay.
you can technically like reach Gammon from there, although you've used your action to dash.
Yep.
But are any of your spells bonus action?
I will fire Toll of the Dead at Dubar.
You can. That's an action. Sorry,
Oh,
mate.
an action. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have any bonus action spells. The only bonus action you have is Second Wind. You also have Action Surge as well, which gives you an extra action, which you could then use to do a spell.
Okay, so I can't really do anything else.
So what you could do is you could use Action Surge to give you an action, then you could use War Magic to cast a cantrip and then make a weapon attack.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, so if you use your Action Surge, you can do that.
So I'll use Action Surge. And then War Magic.
Mhm.
To cast Toll the Dead on Peter.
Okay. It should be what's it called? D12s, because he's taking damage. Oh wait, no, it was a D12. They were just both 5s. So
Yeah, the second one is 12.
you take 5 points of necrotic damage, Duvar.
Do I have to roll DC? Wisdom save.
Oh yes, you do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Ooh.
You take no necrotic damage. Oh wait, is it half?
No, it's none because
No.
it's a cantrip.
Fair. Okay, and then you have your glaive, Grax.
And I'll glaive Gammon.
Okay. Which with Cluck's shield he manages to deflect.
Oh, Gammon.
You... Yeah, no, that was a bonus action. Yeah, okay.
Yep, and then that'll be it.
Okay, that kobold is Kassar.
Hello. So I will move 25 feet to there.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna recast Zephyr Strike on myself again.
Okay.
and then I'm going to fire 2 shots at the Dragonborn.
Great.
Yes, at Grax. I can only see one.
Okay.
I don't think I've actually seen Maelstrom yet. I've only seen him and some kobolds.
Okay.
So shift, is it? So 28 being the first one.
That will I'll get.
Yeah, I would hope.
Okay. So,
I can host. Jesus.
so because of that, and actually, what's my sneak attack now? Is it 2d6 or 1d6? I think it's 1d6 still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me add this all up. So I do 13 points from the bow. Then I do
29.
7 points of force damage from the Zephyr Strike shot.
Yep.
Which I can do if it hits. Then it's 1d6 for the Slayer's Prey, which is 3, and then it's another 1d6 for sneak attack.
Okay.
Because I have advantage.
What was that altogether, Brooksy? 29.
Yeah.
29
29.
minus 3, so 26.
26. Okay. So Grax, that one sort of catches you in the back and stings.
Don't you flee from me, boy! And then I'll shoot him again. For 27.
Do you get advantage on the second attack as well?
Oh, no, I do not. Sorry, take away the 18.
Okay. For 7.
Or does he get to do it each attack?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he takes 7 damage then.
Yeah. So it's essentially he's a heavy master, a heavy armor master.
Mhm.
So he while he's wearing a heavy armor, he has like a an overall reduction on certain types of damage.
Right, okay, cool. Yeah, and after that, I think I'll move some of my extra movement just to get to about here.
Oh, I can see
and
you.
then I'm good. I'm good for my turn. So yeah, you'll see the gold guy come towards you, then you'll see 2 arrows thud in his back.
Again, I'll just pull them out and throw them on the floor.
Okay.
Big thumbs up from the boy.
Bet that was Eleanor.
Do you mean Allura?
Laura, that too.
I didn't even get her out. She's fucking useless.
And Mike, have you been counting your disadvantage for using your crocky hand to pull your bow?
It doesn't give me disadvantage.
No,
Does
it
it not?
doesn't.
Oh.
No. He spent like a day practicing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or,
Ulfar,
probably.
you don't get skewered by that one. Gamin at this point, between a rock and a hard place, he's gonna come
Bearing in mind he
toe to toe with.
heard.
Yeah, he heard whether or not he listens to Ulfar.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
This is Gamin's one chance for revenge, and he's gonna come at you, Grax, with his rolling a 17 and a 22.
I will fire up a shield. So it'll give me 21, so the first one will miss,
Okay.
and the second one will hit.
Okay, and because this is magical, you are going to take the full force. Grax now looks bloodied as Gamin jabs him with the dagger, screaming something in Dwarvish.
My man. My
Ulfar,
G.
I want Constitution saving throws from everyone that isn't Grax.
everyone that isn't Grax.
Yeah, ignoring everyone on my side, obviously they're not close enough. But literally, like so all the kobolds that are still alive and Maelstrom need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can you roll the spell into the chat?
Yes. There we go. How do I?
Just click on the dice next to the spell name. Like if you hover over the icon, it'll turn into a dice.
Just there you go.
Okay.
But I don't know which level I clicked on in there, but I'm casting at 4th level. So anyone that passed it, which is DC 14, takes half of this. Everyone else takes.
You're gonna use the first 2d8 that rolled. So normally when you click on it, you can pick a spell level.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my first 2d8 because I need to roll another 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So people that pass take 7 plus 19, so they take piece of
13.
26.
Yeah, 26.
So 26
Point.
if they don't pass.
Yeah, and 13 if they do.
So he.
And everyone that doesn't pass is pushed 10 feet away from me.
He really likes his personal space.
Mm-hmm.
Does, doesn't it?
13 if they pass.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 more kobolds are dead.
Roll
Maelstrom
that for,
failed as well, didn't
Yeah.
Do you have to roll that for Gammon as well?
No, he's 5 feet out of the range.
Okay. You just said just Scrax. That was all.
Yeah. He messed up.
So yeah, Maelstrom needs to go 10 feet away from me as well. That's the only other thing. And let's see whether casting healing spells this round was a better idea or not. But that's, yeah.
We're getting through the chaff. That's the main thing.
Yeah, no, I'm killing kobolds left, right, and centre. It's not. It's fine.
You have chewed through almost all your spell slots again, though.
I'm not too bad. Most of it was my cool lightning spell.
He will re-engage.
Yep.
And 213.
Will not miss. Will not hit at all.
Duva.
Hello. Let's see where we can go from here. Okay, I will engage Maelstrom.
Good. Oh, thanks. That is very nice of you because he's coming my way otherwise. I'm not sure I could take getting hit again.
And I will use. I'll attack him twice.
Okay.
Let me just have a quick look at something.
Yes.
Okay, so yep, I'll attack him twice. Okay. So crit for number 1, and the second one is probably a miss.
Yeah, I take the first one, not the second.
Is that the right amount of damage that's been applied in crits?
Yeah, you rolled a 1, plus got 3 generally, and then it added the d6, so you got another 6. So 1 plus 3 plus 6, essentially.
Yeah,
You just roll very badly on your 1d6. If you
No,
click the
his
damage...
staff should be 8.
Yeah.
It's only 8 if you're using versatile, which is alt-click.
Yeah. Well,
I will add another 4
okay.
on this occasion alone.
I was gonna hit him with stunning strike as well, if you don't mind.
Okay. Roll it into chat.
Let's see if I can do that. Roll. Presumably hit that button.
Ooh, that did not do it. 2 seconds. Do a quick fix. Bonus.
There's a
also.
roll and an alt roll. I don't know what.
Nah. What is it normally? Is it Constitution?
Yeah.
It is a con saving throw DC 14.
DC. Is it flat 14 or is it no, it's your wisdom,
DC
isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on wisdom.
Yep. Roll it again. Wait. Yeah, roll it again.
Can I see it? Is it back there?
I'll do it for you. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
And he fails. Yes. I'm loving this.
Okay.
Okay. Can I? Is that a? Right. Can I use load up? Can I use flurry blows now?
It depends whether your stunning strike is a bonus action or something else.
It doesn't say it is. So this is the wording.
It's a special. That's fine. Yes, you can. You've still got your bonus action.
Oh, yes. Excellent. So I'll hit him again twice. I suppose.
Okay, so he's now stunned, which I think means he's incapacitated.
Yep.
And you have advantage.
Yes.
So
I critted.
Okay.
And you still didn't hold out.
You still didn't hold out. Yeah, you rolled.
I'll just do versatile for that one. Fine.
Oh,
Not
you've already
versatile.
rolled it.
Not versatile. I mean.
So hold shift and alt together for advantage plus versatile.
Okay. This one I'm going to do both of those. Okay.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?
Jesus.
Okay.
Well, this makes up for the first round
Yeah.
against kobolds.
So Maelstrom is still stunned until the end of your next turn and doesn't look good at all. Maelstrom, you can't do anything. Great.
And
Being Maelstrom stunned, can I completely just bypass Gammon?
Yeah, you will take a opportunity attack from him. But if you don't care too much about that, then that's fine. It just means he'll get an attack at you.
Fine, I will, as I move,
He doesn't get through your arm.
I'll just brush him away and continue on. And I will...
Yeah, do what I think. Yeah, do. Please move.
no, he's moved. No, shush.
I'll cast War Magic.
Okay.
And... cast lightning lure on Ulfar.
Okay. So that is a DC 13 strength test for you, Ulfar.
Strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah.
You pass.
Yeah, I do. Lightning's my bag, baby doll. So what does that mean for me, actually?
Target must or be pulled. You don't take any damage from it.
Yeah.
So a whip of lightning extends around you, but you're able to sort of like hold off its grasp.
Laugh it off.
I like to think I grab it out of the sky, like, bitch, please. This is my house.
Then I will glaive Duvar.
Okay.
For 17.
Duval looks blooded.
Might hit.
A 28, yes.
There's not much that won't.
Yes.
That's a super nice weapon you got there.
I'm having that.
David, have we done all the con saves for my storm? I'm not sure whether I did one. Like I'm just aware of whether it's still knocking about. Or not.
It is still knocking about because you've not taken damage and failed con save.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because they all missed, didn't they?
You have done one con save and passed.
Yeah, I've done 2 con saves, I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Been hit twice. But yeah, I've managed to pass both.
Okay, Kobold dead. Kassa.
Hello. All right, so I'm gonna move down towards the lads.
Yeah, it's going fairly well, mate. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. See, nice. And I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark. I think I can reach. Yeah, so the Maelstrom is 60 feet away.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna shoot him twice with my longbow.
Okay. Yep, you still have advantage.
Alright, I'm gonna use Sharpshooter as well, I think. For 22.
It says 24. Oh, 22 to hit.
22 to hit.
Yeah.
So that is 1d8 plus 16, and then I'll have to do this separately. So he'll take an extra 10 on top of that, so that's 34 damage on the first attack.
Is that what your sneak attack as well?
So yeah, that is sneak attack for Duvar being next to him and having advantage, and the extra d6 for Hunter's Mark as well.
Maelstrom goes down.
Yeah, he does.
Seeing him go down, I'll take a second shot at Grax, but I'll only shoot normally this time.
Okay. What have I
For
got?
28.
28 is a hit.
I'll take 4.
No, you'll take 5.
What's the?
That is the Slayer's Prey that is still on him.
Okay.
Does Slayer's Prey have a range?
It has a range to put it out there, but then once it's out there, I don't think it has a range
No.
after that.
A bit. Sort of,
I designate it within 60 feet, and then it lasts until I finish a short or long rest or designate a different creature.
Okay, because I remember some spells are like if they go out of a certain range, but I remember, I couldn't remember on that.
Yeah, no, that one's sort of it's there until I sleep again. I can click it, just ignore the damage. So it's there.
Is there anything else for you, Kassa?
That is everything for me, I think. And I will yell at Duvar and the others to knock him out.
Okay.
Keep him alive.
Gamin will come up and attempt to shank him. Rolling a 19 and an 8.
I will shoot up a shield.
Okay.
So none of those hit.
Ulfa.
Okay, I am gonna cast Hold Person at 3rd level, so I'll get the Kobold as well as the
Grax.
Grax. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, basically.
The Grax.
So,
So-
rather than clicking on the dice, I think for spells of like to do it at a different level, if you click on it and then try cast.
Okay. Hold Person. Here we go. Hold Person.
I think that's default sheet roll maybe.
Okay, let's. Here you go. It gives me the option. So I'll cast it at 3rd level.
Okay.
The DC 14 Wisdom saving throw from both.
The kobold failed.
So the Kobold can't move.
Grex failed.
So they are both held until the end of their next
So
turn.
they're now
where they have more
paralyzed.
wisdom. Yeah.
Which can't move or speak, fails strength and text, attack rolls have advantage, and it's a critical hit if it's within 5. So he can still take his actions.
Yeah, as long as they're not things that go against whatever.
Yeah, as long as it's like not moving or speaking.
Yeah.
So can't cast spells.
Yeah. and it's the end of their turn. They get 2 plus 2.
He can't take actions or reactions either,
Where does it say that? Oh, is it part of the spell?
because it says it's part of a paralyzed creature is incapacitated, and then incapacitated creatures can't take actions or
Oh,
reactions.
sweet. Yeah, sorry, I missed that.
Yes.
I thought
Okay,
I thought it sounded a bit weird.
But his shield is still up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
can I not
frozen like
attack
that.
then? So does that mean I can't attack?
Yes.
So Kobold fails its wisdom save, so it's still screwed.
That's a whole person's concentration, isn't it?
Yes.
So the storm will dissipate.
Yes, it will.
Okay, Duvar, it's your turn.
Knock it out.
Yeah, with the shield, I'll give it a go. I'll attack Grax in front of me.
Okay.
You have advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage, and if you hit
And
him,
you're all
if
yeah.
but like, it's not an auto crit until you hit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You got to get past his armor.
Shift and Alt is what I'm going to hold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's becomes so that's plus another 8.
17, so that's 14.
17,
Quick
14. And you're knocking him out as well. Is that?
Well, I'm not. I'll use stunning blow on it. Stunning
Okay.
strike on him if necessary.
Roll
Okay,
the what's it called?
What's my call? Stunning strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes it easy to roll dex save then. Sorry, dex save, constitution saves. Yep, he resists the stunning strike.
But he's paralyzed anyway, so.
Okay, I'll smack him again.
Nope.
It would have been yes, she held down control rather than shift.
Oh.
Sorry.
So that becomes a 18, which
7.
becomes a 15.
15.
And the stunning strike again. Running out of these.
Passes.
I have one left. I've got this right. And that will be the end of my
Like,
turn.
we're gonna need you to get over here with those manacles soon.
Yep.
Otherwise-
Duvar has them. I gave them to him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Duvar
you-
has the manacles.
Okay.
Maelstrom, roll a
Which
dex
I
save
think
roll.
he might have forgot about.
Alright. Yeah, no. Right, well.
Yeah, no.
No, probably.
I can't see death save.
Just roll it as a d20. And to keep track of them. So it come up, it's not hit chat yet for some reason.
I saw a dice, but it didn't
Yeah,
come
yeah.
into chat. Yeah.
It just took a long time to settle.
Grax, make a wisdom saving. So that's the right side of the wisdom.
Nope.
Yeah, still frozen.
Kathar,
Do you see why I like that spell?
Yeah.
I am going to dash 50 feet to here.
Hmm.
As a bonus action, I think I can do that. Because of cunning. Cunning, what do you call it? Cunning action?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can
Yep.
dash. Dash, disengage, or hide. And then as an action, I'm going to restrain him with some rope that I have.
okay.
And then I'm going to ask Duvar for the manacles.
Which I'll pass.
On your
And if
turn.
I can, I'll instead of so essentially, I've tied him up round with rope,
Mhm.
and I'll gag him. But I'll ask Duvar to put the proper manacles on him because I've only got rope on him so far.
Seeing this, Gavin will sort of like put down the dagger, and he will go and actually start looking at his wagon.
I'll shout after us like, check on Allura for me.
If
you would.
Can we borrow your wagon?
All fine.
I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on the paralyzed kobold in front of me. Do I get advantage on the roll for that?
Attack rolls have advantages, yeah.
Okay.
When you're within 5 feet, which he is.
Yeah. Okay. Why didn't that come up?
Because you need to roll it. If you're rolling it if you're choosing a spell, it will automatically roll the attack and the damage.
Okay. There we go. So I don't need to roll my second. So I do. Well, it would be 66 is the damage. So what's that on a crit?
66 on a crit.
So it's 36 plus 22.
Yeah,
That was the idea.
Burst into a puff of red mist.
Yeah. Into a glowing ball of radiant energy. And then I'll just walk over. Oh, actually, sod it. No, Wolf, I wouldn't do that.
You're going to teabag him or something?
No, he was going to shove his javelin through his throat while he was dying on the floor.
He's not dying. We've tied him up.
No, the other one, Maelstrom, because he's doing death saving throws.
You're
He's
not-
not
you're
dead.
you don't know he's doing death saving throws.
That's why I stopped. I said
He's knocked out.
Yeah. I say, well, that went well.
I'll just injure myself.
Oh, I've just been kicked out.
They'll take me somewhere else.
I'm still in.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Just you.
Let me refresh.
Okay. Duval.
Press the button, and in only 4 seconds the front door will open. And that's all you
So, okay, everything's dead except for we need to go check on this guy, do we?
You have
You
no
need to put the
reason
manacles
to
on.
suspect there's anything wrong with that guy. They're both.
No. Okay.
That's
So,
the thing.
I would go look at the bodies to see if what I could get, and hopefully I'd see if he was alive or still.
Despite.
Duvar, put the fucking manacles on, man.
I put the manacles on the guy. The first thing I do is put the
Right,
manacles on.
that's their
the
action.
guy in front of me.
There is no looting.
Right.
Maelstrom, death saving throw, please.
That could just as well have been out of character as in character. It's fine. You
And-
turn around to go toddle off.
Just
no,
keep
fucking
rolling
way.
until something happens either way, yeah? Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
And he stabilized.
Okay, so at this point, we're going to say hold person has expired as your like restraining and manacling Grax. So thank you first of all to Cretel and Cluck for playing the role of the baddies. Thank you for taking the advice and going easy on these poor smucks.
Yeah. I did expect the breath to hurt, but I was hoping it wouldn't like crit or any. Well, no, it can't, can it? It's breath, but still,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, if he can do that again next turn, we're doomed. That's
Yeah.
it. That's over.
That is a very good point. Yes, Cluck, you can, but it has to be directly straight forward.
Yep, that's fine. So
God!
He is gagged.
I gagged him.
It's not a it's not a vocal spell. He is opening his fire glands or his dragon organ and just
Slow down.
spewing fire forward.
as a last breath, I will shoot fire.
Maelstrom dies.
That's what became of that. He was like, oh, "You're not gonna take mine," and Duvar totally dodged it like a badass.
Do you
half?
take half damage or no damage if you pass a dex throw now, Duvar? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
he's a monk.
I believe it's no damage.
You believe or you know?
I believe, not no.
I don't know if you've got it now or if you get it later. That's the thing.
So the creature takes half as much damage on a successful one.
Yeah, but he might like rogues and I think monks can take no damage on a successful pass with certain ability.
Oh, is it?
But I don't know if Duvar has it. Well, I'm going to apply half damage. Shout out if it.
I think it's evasion or something.
Evasion's the rogue one.
No, when you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dex saving throw, you take only half damage. You instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw.
What's the ability?
Evasion.
Oh, is that on his sheet?
That's on his D&D Beyond character sheet.
Sweet.
I've just
Oh
read
shit!
it.
I thought that was a rogue thing.
I don't know.
So yeah, he takes no damage.
He's just added it on quick.
Oh yeah, quick, add that on. There
You
you go.
literally just like killed your own lieutenant, and Duvar's just like, wow, and Matrix dodges a wall of fire.
Yeah.
He just rolls out the way.
There you go.
If I see that, if I see him open his mouth and breathe his breath out, I'll remove the rope to tie up his mouth.
Yeah. So I'd like you all of you to make what's it called?
Survival?
No. Nature checks. Call it nature.
Crit.
Alright, so, Kassar, based on what you've just seen, you think you need to do more, and the only way that you can think of stopping him being able to breathe fire is essentially to stuff his mouth full of, like, wet rags.
What if we put a metal bucket over his head?
He's a fire-breathing dragon.
It would probably
Okay.
melt the bucket.
I will
Melt his head as
rip.
well.
I will rip a lot of scraps of clothing from the kobolds, wet them with my water skin, and shove them down his throat.
Yeah, okay.
Not so he chokes, but just so he shuts up. And then I'll retie the rope around that so that he can't spit them out either.
Perfect.
Piercing damage from bitten finger.
Joe, you're dead.
And say, I have come off scot-free because I was just like dancing around, even with broken toes.
Well, you called me the tank at the last session, so I thought okay, looks like I'm acting as a tank then.
My life coaching is working in that case.
Okay,
Um,
so Gamin's
we'll
taking
also-
over the sort of like his wagon to see what sort of damage has been dealt.
yeah. I take it we'll strip the Dragonborn of his weapons and armor.
Yeah, anything that.
Yeah.
So we'll.
The other one as well.
I take it there's not going to be a lot on the kobolds, but we'll strip the two commander and sub commander as we see it.
Bugsy Superior Steel Glade +1.
Yeah, by all means, like I'm fine with that.
You won't have proficiency with it though.
No,
Yeah.
Who in our team will be able to use it?
I could probably, but I don't.
I would be able to. Cluck would be able to. Whoever's got martial weapons.
Okay,
So,
so
whoever-
make a bunch of, let's see,
Survival usually.
uh,
it?
So for the kobolds, yeah, we're going to do survival for the lot, including what you find in the campus.
Yeah.
I always roll terrible at survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of Grax's stuff that is like of worth, he has obviously the glaive. He's also wearing a set of chainmail that has got a few chunks taken out of it.
Okay.
The kobolds, you reckon that their shields are kind of cool, in that they've got flakes of dragon scale on it. It's not enough to do anything with it, but like they for a shield they look nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I-
I'll net me a
Can I
kobold
can I
shield.
take one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take one because I'm going to give the other one back to Clark, and it's nice to have one.
And Maelstrom's burnt corpse. Anything on him?
So on Maelstrom, based on your checks, you would find a number of dragon scales that can be used. It's not many, but with enough of them,
Four.
a shield could be crafted out of them.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's like 2d6 red dragon scales. If
Who wants to roll for it?
Okay, that-
Duvar, you got the highest. Go for it.
Oh, really?
that's a
Jesus.
good point.
What do you want? 2d6.
Yeah. Four.
So 4 red dragon scales. The other things you can get from the kobolds as well is sometimes their tails will fetch bounties. So you could
Right.
huck the tails off all the.
I've actually still got some tails that I'm going to just take out of my inventory because they would have rotted away by now.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got that.
At the point,
So,
I've still got some ogre.
can I Can I replace 6 kobold tails with 5 kobold tails?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I
fine.
don't see why not. Yeah.
So the other thing you'll find in and around the camp that doesn't belong to Gammon is you'll find 225 gold of copper, silver, and gold. 7 minor gemstones worth about 10 gold each, and a potion of greater healing.
Okay, you need to say that again slowly.
I've got it. So it's 225 gold mixed up, 7 minor gemstones worth 50 gold each, and a potion of greater healing. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, 7 times 10. Sorry.
And a potion of what healing? Sorry.
Greater healing.
Greater. Pretty good.
It's in chat.
In the chat.
So 295 gold's worth of stuff and a pretty decent potion.
Yeah.
7 times 10 gold pieces minor.
Minor
10.
gemstone. Yeah.
No worries.
10.
Yeah, okay, I've got that down. The chainmail that we've pulled off of Grax, does it seem, at least initially, special in any way, or does it just seem like a normal set of chainmail?
No, it doesn't appear special at all. As you take it
Okay.
off Grax, you notice that his skin has some of like natural scales as well. So it's as if he's just layering his armor.
I'm going to ask Gammon to help me out with Allura's cage.
Yeah, Gammon will sort of like hold up bits of his broken goods and say, "Yeah, sure."
And I'll lift the cage off of Allura. I'm like, fancy seeing you again.
Make it with advantage, strength with advantage. You're
11.
unable to lift the cage.
Help!
Gammon is, I am helping!
We need to
You wait with.
Let's both move him over to the.
Okay, yeah, okay, we'll drag
Pull him with you.
over.
We'll just take him with us.
I need help with this cage.
Yeah,
I
Duva,
got the
I'm gonna
first one,
suggest
but I think
you-
I'm tired. The adrenaline's
you,
wearing off.
I'm going to suggest that you stand next to him in case, for whatever reason, he needs to be knocked out, and I'll help them with the strength check.
I'll say
Okay.
okay. It hasn't worked so far, but okay.
So what do you want, David? Do you want a strength check from me as well?
Yeah, both make strength checks. With advantage.
I crit fail my strength check.
With
With
advantage.
advantage. Oh, I didn't
Okay.
use advantage either, actually.
Okay, so I crit my strength check.
Yeah,
It's your own
I
fault
forgot to
for
use
not
advantage the first time either.
Okay.
Yeah,
With
fine.
that one, the cage is lifted out,
Ooh.
and Alora will climb.
Just leave her in here.
Didn't want to put you in harm's way, my lady.
She will say, "Thank Christ you turned up,"
Don't stand in the fire.
and she'll sort of look around and say, "Where?
The last memory of the royal mint of Spain,
Where's the other one? Where's the other two? Where's Cluck?"
leaving a series of
They were
missing
doing other things.
Cluck and Cretella are in the city.
You must take me to him at
It's-
once.
I'm telling you, Trevor, this place is out of control.
Okay.
You're
welcome.
not your assistants anymore. You're going to need to explain before we do anything.
Sorry, Ulfa, I didn't get any of that. I was getting background noise over the top.
Okay, I said basically we're not her assistants anymore. She's going to need to say more than that to get us to do what she wants.
She will say that when I returned back to my shop, I was going through some notes when some lord or whatever turned up, who was interested in the history of your friend and the lost city of Half. I obviously shared everything I know, but it wasn't until several days later that my memory was stirred, and I remember this. And she'll pull out a gold medallion that looks old. It's a trinket of Arakoran origin. We must find Cluck. It's important. And she'll slam her sort of hand on something nearby to emphasize her point.
I
Are
mean,
you injured, Gamin?
we're going back to see him anyway. I suppose you can tag along.
I'll ask Gamin if he's injured or how he's doing.
Gamin will say he's fine. He won't make anything from this trip. In fact, it'll cost him quite a lot to replace the goods and the oxen. But he's glad he's okay.
I'll sort of slap him on the back and say, "Well, coming away with your life is the most important thing."
All thanks to Cluck's shield.
Yeah. Which he will turn back over to you now. He's found his hammer, which wasn't thankfully damaged on the wagon.
Thank you.
Laura will sort of butt in again and say, "You don't understand. This not only is the key to the lost city of Half, it may help Cluck recover his memory."
Don't worry, we'll take you to Cluck. We're headed back there after this.
Okay.
You may accompany us on our way back.
Gavin, do you need any help transporting what's left of what was stolen here?
He will say that the wagon appears usable. If we don't mind, we could all move it together, although it might slow us down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why not.
We've
course.
got a dragonborn to pull it.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's in the pulling health.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we
We'll
can stick
keep
him in
him
it.
in the back.
Right?
Yeah, we'll keep him in the back.
Someone should
Set someone on guard. Yeah, we'll set you on guard. The turtle's quite heavy. Actually, do I see that Duvar is quite hurt?
Yes.
In which case, I'll go over to him and I'll cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Ooh.
So
Before
how
we
do
do
I
a short
do?
rest and use hit dice, I'm just
You
saying.
just click it. You pop up a box saying what level spell slot you want to use.
So
You just click second. And
Don't click on the roll bit of it. Just click on the spell itself. And then
If I do that, it just opens and closes the
Yeah.
text. Do I
yeah,
have to?
and then click default sheet roll, I think.
David, do we think we could get
Okay,
back
gotcha.
to the road before darkfall?
It didn't roll any dice.
No, you have to click on the healing bit to roll.
Okay.
Oh, God.
You will recover 13 hit points, Duvar.
Thank you.
Push up to 31. He looks a lot better. Do you think you can get back to the road before nightfall? It's about just after midday now. Pulling the wagon, you'd think you wouldn't make it.
Okay.
Well, we don't know if there's more of them out gathering anything. Gammon, do you know if there was more of them out there, or is this everyone?
Gamin will shake his head and say, "This is all he saw. Just him and his brute."
We may be
spit
alright to
towards
camp here for
Grex.
the night.
Yeah, certainly with this weather, like a full fire and decent tents and what have you. They've obviously been out
Alright.
there.
Let's stay here and pack up for the next day, and then we'll travel tomorrow.
Yeah. Presumably, Dave, if we set out in the morning, we reckon we could get to the road before it was dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For once, the professor felt weak.
See why not? So
Okay.
yeah, we'll go about. Yeah.
Falling into Raquel's arms seemed like the
Go
best
about, make sure our guest is comfortable.
Okay.
the only comfort.
Okay, is anybody gonna he does look terrible. Does anybody plan to give him any medical aid?
Who? Grax. I will, but only if he So actually, I'll ask him to sort of nod or shake his head, and say I'll tell him that I will help him and heal him slightly, just to make him feel a little bit better if he promises not to be any trouble.
He nods.
In which case, I will cast Cure Wounds at first level on him.
Do you promise to be a good boy? Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. How many times?
Well, that was a real good roll as well as healing goes. Like,
Yeah, that's almost too good. No, it should be 1d8, not 2d8. For some reason, it's done 2d8 on the first level spell slot as well. So just take 7 plus 1, so it should be 8.
It somehow classed itself as a critical.
Yeah,
critically
don't
healed.
know how that's worked. I've critically healed him.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, that seems to ease some of his pain. So you're planning to spend the rest of the sort of day here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This caused
I'm in-
Aurora no amount of upset.
Do you want to go back in the cage?
She will say, "You don't understand how important this is."
That is right, but what we do understand is the fact that this is probably the safest and most comfortable place to live out the night in this forest. If you want to survive the night in this forest, I suggest you join us. Otherwise, you can try and make your own way to Askaby. I wouldn't recommend it. But while you've got it out, can I look at the shiny thing?
No.
But it's so fascinating.
She absolutely does not want to let you even get close enough to breathe on it, and she will sort of tuck it away as soon as you ask about it.
Okay.
She will say that it was given to her for safekeeping from a friend who she hasn't heard from for some time, but given Cluck's obvious connection with it, she feels it's important to show it to him.
Do not
So what
worry,
you're
we
saying
will
to me
get
is you
back to him
trust
soon.
Me less than you trust Cluck.
Says it's not about trust. I don't trust Cluck, but I bear him no ill will. This is important to him and his people, and he should have it.
Okay, but yes.
We will get it to him in due time,
Yeah,
but let's take the safest course.
From what you recall, last time, like Cluck and Allura, or the first time they met, Allura was talking about the lost city of Half, and how it's potentially where Cluck came from.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
sort of like the homeland of the Arakora that's been lost to time.
Yeah.
Okay, so presuming you're going to spend the rest of the night here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So first of all,
Actually, what is the time at the point that where we're like settled down?
it's going to be about yeah, mid to middle afternoon.
Okay, I'll go hunting for our evening meal. If
Okay.
everyone's willing to sort of tide everything over.
Check around here. They must have food.
That's a good point. Yeah. What food is on show?
I will look a little downcast as they suggested. I was gonna go hunting.
Rats. Loads of
Yeah,
rats.
there's not a great deal in the way of food around. There's a couple of pots of dubious stew by the fire, and the rest appears to be what is in Gammon's wagon.
Okay.
That stew looks awful. I think I'd better go hunt us some food. That stew looks worse than mine.
Okay, I'll give in. Get them go hunt food.
Don't go far enough away from the camp that we couldn't hear you if you shouted. We don't need you going missing again.
No. Don't worry about me. You two keep an eye on our golden friend here.
That's
Okay.
Call it for the day.
Perfect. Yeah, we have overrun a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's as good a spot as any to end.
I won't find out how my hunting goes until next week.
No.
Roll your survival check.
Yeah! Something good.
It's at least a passable. It's the first passable survival check in a long while.
I will say, David, I'm not looking for anything special. I'm literally looking for like a deer or some rabbits or something just to cook for an evening meal. Yeah, I'm looking for food.
Yep. Okay. You will find 5 plus your wisdom modifier of 1, so 6 pounds of food.
6 pounds of food.
6 pounds of food.
Okay.
So that's enough to feed 6 people. So it's like a young boar or something.
Sorry, David, you went in and out there for me.
A young boar or something.
Okay, I'll bring it back. Sort of cut it, take out the bowels, and start roasting it over the fire.
And I will suggest that we split the golden and gems between the 3 of us equally.
Yes. Who should take the potion? Or maybe we should give it to Gammon. He's lost all his money. Maybe we should give him the potion to sell.
Yeah.
It will make him some money back on this adventure.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind giving him the potion.
Okay.
That's fine.
And that way, it's about 100 gold each, and Gammon will give Gammon the potion to make his trip better.
So we'll end it there just very quickly before we stop streaming. Does anybody want to add anything or say anything? I would say sorry for the first, let's say, 50 minutes where we had no audio.
Yeah. So it's something that we need to check for next time. Make sure that's working.
I know why it's been. It's because I've been playing the music through the monitor speakers today. So I'll know what to look for next time.
Okay.
But, otherwise, we'll be back Monday next week.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
See you all later, and
See you later.
come back soon.
Cheers.